Yeah, it's another race debrief and a race overview from my. So today I had the White Cliffs Sprint Triathlon, which is the Deal Tri Club Champs, which is the triathlon club that I'm a member of. It will be a 400 swim. Well, it was a 400 swim because I'm recording this afterwards. So it's a 400 swim, a 15k bike, and a 4.8k run. So yeah, I'll see you on the flip side.
Going, Harry. Keep it going, Harry. Well done, keep going. Well done. Keep going, Harry, well done. Well done, another.
So I'm here with the race winner today, Alex Dack. He won with a decent gap to the rest of the field. So Alex, how do you feel the race went?
No, the race was decent. I thought my swim was okay. The swim was alright. My technique felt decent. I've been focusing on that a lot in training, especially sort of trying to swim fast but still swim smooth to keep the heart rate low going into the bike. And then my T1 was good. Running on the Astro though, I got a few black bits in my shoes.
Yeah, that Astro was a killer.
Exactly. And then my bike sort of kept the cadence high, sort of high-ish, but not sort of going to the red too much. The cycle was good. It was pretty quiet as well. Only thing it was a bit windy and a little bit cold. But then T2, I'll be honest, my T2 was not the greatest. It took me sort of a few extra seconds to get my shoes on, but these are not my. Thank you, well done. These are not my race shoes, so I was wearing an older pair of running shoes, just to keep my race shoes nice and fresh. And then my run was alright. I mean, fairly hilly course, sort of 1k uphill out, and then back all the way back downhill. And fairly windy. I got stitch, but I think that's the step up in distances from the sort of the 2.5k I'm used to. However, I got rid of the stitch and I kept the pace fairly high even when I wasn't feeling too good, which is decent. And overall I'd say just sort of a very well organised race, and it's very good to see sort of all the other athletes, both athletes, marshals, spectators, all sort of cheering you on and really good encouragement throughout. So thank you for listening to me. What was that?
Cool. So Alex, if you had any tips for people starting out in triathlon, and that I wanted to give it a go, what would you say to them?
First of all, I'd say get fast, because I think if you don't have that speed in you, whether that be in the pool, on the bike or running, I think it should be really hard to build endurance. So the first thing I'd do is I'd say get fast, and then I think you build the endurance up over time, and then that means you sort of train more often, etc, etc. And then the other thing I'd say is technique is everything. That on the swim, if you can swim at a good pace while still feeling comfy, I think it makes the world of difference.
Cool, so thank you for that, Alex. I'll give a brief overview of what went on in my race and the time that myself and Alex finished in today at the end of the video. Right, so now for the debrief. So, it was a tough race. It was very cold, and I didn't have the best block leading into it, as I had a flu virusy thing for a week or two. Then I had Cub Camp, because I'm a young leader for my local Cub group. So I hadn't had much training going into it, but overall I'm happy with my time, and a big congratulations to my good friend Alex Stack, who was in the interview before this, as he won it with a time of 43 minutes and 43 minutes and 57 seconds. I've got all my information on here. So his swim was 4 minutes and 21 seconds, which was just insane. His bike was 28 minutes and 20 seconds, and his run was a whopping 15 minutes and 36 seconds, which just wow. Now for my race. So I finished in 16th overall out of about 60 finishers in a time of 1 hour, 1 minute and 57 seconds, which is significantly further back than Alex. So there wasn't age group results, but there was categories. So I was in the senior category, as it was senior, vet, like super vet or something like that. So I finished 6th out of 15 seniors. So I'm pleased with that. I was the 11th male across the line out of 38 overall, and like I said, I was 16th out of 61 actually. Oh, that's nice. So now for each individual leg. So for the swim, which was 400 metres, I did an estimate of what time I thought I would get, as we needed to put down our estimated 400 time. So I put about 9 minutes 30. As for East Grinstead, I did just under 4 minutes, so I kind of doubled that and then added about 1 minute 30 on, so then I had a bit of leeway. But I finished my swim in 9 minutes and 5 seconds, which was the 10th quickest out of my... I was the 10th quickest senior for the swim out of 15, so take from that what you will. It's not my strongest, hence why I focus on duathlon. And then my cycle, I wasn't actually far off Alex, in a time of 30 minutes and 14 seconds, so it's only about 2 minutes off of Alex, which I'm pleased with, as that is one of my strengths. And I was the 7th senior, so that I'm very pleased with. And then my run, so coming back to my bike, so my T1 was solid, but unfortunately with the timings, we weren't given our transition times. My T1 was reasonably smooth. So when I went in, everyone else had racked their bikes in the opposite direction to me, but because I wanted as clear a channel as possible to come in and go back out again. I've literally racked it in the opposite direction to everyone else. So I'm not sure what time I did that in, but I'll probably calculate it later and I'll put it just about there. So yeah, that's what that was. So now for the bike. So I finished in 30:14, as I've said, which was the 7th quickest senior men's time. It was windy, and the course was a lot more undulating than I was expecting it to be. So it's going from the athletic centre to the Boys Hill roundabout in Whitfield. So yeah, that was more undulating than I anticipated. Let's think. So I was mostly focusing on trying to keep my cadence at about 80 to 90 RPM. When I'm just riding normally, I keep it between 70 and 80. But because I knew that I was just trying to get my legs spinning, I was trying to make sure that I was able to run afterwards. I thought less power, higher cadence. So yeah, that was a pretty solid ride for me. And then I'll put my T2 time there, so my bike to run. So when setting up the transition, I was running a bit late, so I didn't get a chance to tighten my shoes, which was a mistake that I noticed later on when I was actually doing my transition. So that slowed my run leg down a bit, as I had to stop, tighten up my shoes, and then head back out again. So yeah, that slowed me down, but my helmet coming off, my re-racking the bike was all spot on. I finished, so then for my run. So I had the 6th fastest senior run split, which I was very happy with. And I finished in a time of 22:37, which was significantly slower than Alex, but we are at very different levels of experience. So I went in not really targeting a pace, but I was going to aim to get between around 23 and 22, so got that pretty much spot on. Yeah, so overall it was a pretty solid race, very cold, but very well run, other than a little bit that got a bit confusing because I didn't know there was 2 laps. So that might be a bit of a way that the club could improve next year, making the signing a bit more open and a bit more obvious. Yeah, overall, really pleased with my race today. And a big well done to everyone that competed and finished. And if you'd like to help support me, as I've qualified for the Sprint Duathlon World Champs, I'll put a link in the description for my GoFundMe page. I'm trying to raise about £5,000, so that'll go towards my kit, shoes, travel, all the kit that I'll need and all the things that I'll need to pay for to be able to compete in Pontevedra in June. So got a while to donate, but if you want to, please do. It'll be a massive help. And if you want to go check out, if you like the top that I'm wearing today, so it's the O+ collaboration with Dryworld. If you want to get your own or check it out, I'll put a link in the bio for that. And yeah, like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.